So this past weekend was Father's Day, and I had a whole plan for what I was going to do, and my webcam still wasn't working because my computer has gone through a lot of hiccups lately, so I couldn't do it, but it's Monday, and I'm going to do it today. You will notice that my flapper feather is back, and that is because today, in honor of the recently passed holiday, I would like to do my dad's favorite book, which is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Like my dad, I really love this book, but I honestly don't know if I would love it as much as I do if it weren't for my dad loving it as much as he does. Anyway, he used to read me excerpts of this book when I was a really little kid because, as we discussed the other day at Melissa's birthday party, my dad just really loved to read me things as a small child that probably weren't appropriate for my age group. Between very theatrical renditions of The Telltale Heart, "Villains! Dissemble no more! I admit the deed! Tear up the planks! Here! Here! It is the beating of his hideous heart!" He read me parts of The Great Gatsby, and to this day I cannot read this book without hearing it in his voice. So yeah, there's clearly like a really deep sentimental attachment to this book because of that. But even with that aside, it's a really great work, and I do enjoy it for its own sake. The first thing I really like about this book is the way that Fitzgerald used language. The writing in this book is just really beautifully put together. The other thing that I really enjoy is how all of these seemingly meaningless objects hold all of this deep meaning to Gatsby, but also just in general. Like this green light on the end of Daisy's dock is, you know, to her and probably to everyone else, just a green light. It's like deeply significant. Or the eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg and this faded sign. You know, everything means something. And I guess that's just good writing in general, but he did a really good job with it. Another thing I really love is that he managed to write this complete, complex, beautifully written, elegant story, and he did it in less than 200 pages. And I think there tends to be this perception today that short books are easy reads or that they're somehow lacking in depth. And I think this book is a really good reminder that your story only has to be as long as it needs to be for you to tell it and tell it well. It's no less beautiful or complex or sophisticated as your densest Russian novel, and you could probably argue that it's more enjoyable as well, not to diss the Russians. I also really love the deep humanity of the characters. Even characters that I initially didn't like the first time I read the book, like Daisy, are, when you really think about it and you really pay attention, extremely relatable. You know, for all of their deep, tragic flaws and everything about them, and you can really kind of come to understand and have compassion for them, except I don't really have a lot of compassion for Tom Buchanan, but maybe he's just more difficult for me to relate to personally. Anyway, in a previous video, you compared the selection to Strawberry Shortcake. I think that the book-to-food comparison is really apt, and I think that it's something we should continue to do, if that's something that you're down with doing. And in that tradition, I would like to compare The Great Gatsby with a really delicious dessert that I had in Traverse City with Lyrica last year. And it was just this small slab of really dark, rich, slightly bitter chocolate mousse with slivered almonds and topped with really thick homemade whipped cream and chocolate sauce and dried Traverse City cherries on top. I feel like the dark chocolate represents the deep, rich complexity of the story, while the whipped cream and the syrup represent the indulgence of the time and also of the characters. And then all of the different flavors combine, just like all of the different elements of the book, to create complete culinary, or in the case of Great Gatsby, literary harmony. So yeah, I hope, Angie, that you enjoyed the video, and Dad, if you ever watch these videos, I really hope that I did a little bit of justice to your favorite book. Honestly, I know I can't capture all of the great things about this book in 5 minutes, but, you know, as a little snippet, I hope you enjoy it. Happy Father's Day. I guess that's it. Bye.